It was a really challenge to put myself out there and meet a lot of people, and just try to get to know a lot of people, especially since I lost my my first year back at home. So coming here and not getting the first year experience was very difficult.
Even though I'm from pretty close by, college is a major change from high school, and a lot of it is learning how to learn. And you miss your family, you miss your friends, you're in a totally new environment. And yeah, that was definitely the hardest part, is adapting to my new environment.
I think the biggest challenge probably emotionally was imposter syndrome. It felt like everybody was more deserving to be here than I was, and so it was really hard convincing myself that like I belonged here.
Biggest challenge was being far from home. So I'm from like the outskirts of Chicago, and so being really far from home was hard.
I think just learning how to, actually live independently. Like they always tell you about it, but like actually not knowing how to feed yourself in a lot of ways. We had the dining hall, but other than that, and just doing laundry and like a lot of the small challenges you don't realize they're taking care of you for at home, and then you kind of have to start doing yourself. That was definitely a surprise.
It was very daunting to not know everyone, because I grew up in such small environments, and even though I moved around a lot, my schools were always so small, and so I felt like I kind of knew everyone in my community. And then coming here, where like you could walk around campus and you could not see a single familiar face for like, the first few months.
I'm someone who craves comfort and security, even though I love change. So not having that comfort and security, like being at home and being with my mom and having her remind me that I need to like do things, was really difficult. Just realizing that I'm an adult now and I have to like take care of myself was probably the hardest thing for me.
I would say probably the best parts of my first year on campus have been the people that I've met. I feel like at USC, I have not met a single horrible or mean person. Everyone here is really nice and supportive and kind, which I feel like is not an experience that you get at a lot of similar prestigious universities.
I think my favorite things about my first month here on campus was probably Welcome Week. They do a really good job of getting you acquainted with like the residence halls, what it feels like living with a new roommate. The individual departments and schools do their own things, so you get acquainted with people from your major. They do a good job of like settling you in instead of just throwing you into everything, so that was probably my favorite part.
I think the best thing about my first month on campus was meeting people that think differently. When you come from a small town like I did, a lot of people think the same, they have the same life experiences. And when you come to a big college like a USC or a bigger university across the nation, there's a lot of people that have had completely different paths ending up here. And so finding those people, asking them how they ended up here, and understanding their journey and how they think is something that I found really interesting and really eye-opening in my first month of campus.
Like meeting a lot of people and like trying like different things and like actually like being like independent, like for the first time. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I think the best part of my first month on campus was just being on campus. I had like always seen the school, like I grew up here in Los Angeles, and so like I've always like seen the school, and so actually like stepping on campus and like looking around and being like, wow, like I go here, like this is like mine right now, like that felt so rewarding and so satisfying.
Definitely how quickly I got close to people. I felt like I met a lot of friends super early on coming to campus, which made it feel like home really quickly, which I really liked.
Try to do as many like social events as you can.
Find as many activities to do as you can.
To network and socialize.
Definitely get plugged into clubs that have your interests and your values.
I would say in your first month, something that I struggled with a lot is just putting yourself out there. And I know like, especially coming from the pandemic, it's hard to just find that energy again. But there's so many opportunities on campus, and the university really like makes the effort to create events for you and to meet other students. So I'd really recommend going and joining clubs and meeting as many people as you can.
I mean, it's a little cliche. I'd say just open up and honestly just don't be afraid to ask for help. I think everyone around you is in the same position. So yeah, asking for help will never ever not work out in some way. At least that's what I found.
Advice, probably spend as little amount of time in your room as possible. You came here for a reason. You didn't come here just to be in your room like you could be at home. There's many people out there to meet, there's many things to do, there's many different experiences, and just go find your niche and run with it.
I think the biggest college hack is to realize that it's just life, to not put too much pressure on it, to understand that you should be doing things that you're really interested and passionate about. You don't have to be everywhere. You know, try to invest in some place instead of being everywhere at the same, everywhere all the time. I think that would be my biggest hack of it all.
Yeah, the best college hack, honestly, is just like finding where and when you work best. I think I figured out that I work best alone and kind of later at night, but I have a best friend that wakes up at 7 a.m. every morning and like loves to search new coffee shops. So I think figure out what works best for you, and if it's not as conventional as everything else, then that's okay. Just you do you.
To reach out to friends and family, both that you've made here and at home, because everyone's in the same boat. At first, I thought that like me being super sad and uncomfortable in this new environment is just what I'm going through, but I promise you, everyone else is going through it. And mental health is a serious issue, so I think that you should definitely reach out no matter what. And